Imagine a movie that did not do that great in the box office.
Cool, huh?
And then imagine a video game made for that particular movie. Obviously, it's not gonna do any good. That is exactly the same with WWE and its video game right now. WWE and its product, well, that is something. WWE Game and their product is, that is something. But AEW on the other hand, not only their product as a wrestling company is great, but the video game, that might be better. So far we have seen WWE 2K22 putting out a teaser that says it hits different and doesn't seem to show that at all. And then we saw more footages of behind the scenes which captured animations which nobody cared about, and then we also saw a footage of them capturing facial expressions and all that stuff which we also don't care about. Maybe what will make a difference is when they finally put out a trailer, because SummerSlam is presented by WWE 2K22 and SummerSlam is happening on August 21st. So maybe that is a time when we will actually see the trailer. But AEW on the other hand, their games is different from the looks of it. We do know that they don't really have a name. They call it the AEW console game. So bye bye PC gamers. But we do know that they look different. AEW did showcase a teaser trailer for their own video game, which looked different and great at the same time, but that's a teaser. But then we also saw the very first look of gameplay. Darby Allin, putting his body on the line once again by flying off the turnbuckle and just doing all kinds of moves. We didn't see that much, but we did see enough to see what this game might be. And from looking at that small clip right there, we can actually see that, hey, this looks very much similar to one video game that we have played long back, and that is WWE SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. Because the camera angle looks exactly like that, and again that game was made by Yuke's, who is now developing AEW console game. Somehow it feels like the lighting is different, the game looks a little bit different, and maybe it plays a little bit different because for the first time, I believe, Yuke's is getting much more freedom on what they want to create. And the reason why I'm speaking Yuke's is having more creative freedom is because of this right now. Yuke's, who is the developer of majority of wrestling games ever created. Most of them were for WWE, but they stopped creating WWE games till 2019, which means the last video game that they made was 2K19. The reason why they left is because of that creative frustrations that they had with 2K Sports. And now they're working with AEW Video Game, and maybe that will allow Yuke's to have that creative freedom to make that wrestling game, to implement new ideas, new methods and new mechanics to make a much better wrestling game. On the other hand, WWE Games, well, they are being developed by 2K Sports. They are the developers. They don't have any experience on a wrestling game. Their very first experience, by the way, is WWE 2K20.
What is this? What was that?
So we can clearly see that the experience of 2K Sports is not as much on wrestling games as Yuke's have, because they have made thousands, I believe, of wrestling games. So obviously, Yuke's is on a much higher stand right now. At the moment, we know that Kenny Omega is heavily engaged with the AEW video game. He has been talking about it, he has been mentioning what the game is going to be, and the best part is that he himself said in Wrestling Observer Radio, and I quote, "So far we have got a lot of cool things incorporated into the game that I think fans are really gonna love. We are starting to work on some more of the character models, and not many of them are 100% complete. But when you see them come together and you see them start to look more like the person that they're supposed to be." He also mentioned that they don't want to disclose a release date because of course it's not been done, so they hope that they can release it next year. But we see Kenny Omega, who is a gamer himself who loves playing video games, is heavily engaged with an AEW video game, because he can then give feedbacks based on a lot of wrestling games that he must have played. He can give feedbacks right then and there and let Yuke's know what to implement. However, with WWE 2K22 video game, well, we don't have anybody from the wrestling industry, being with them or engaged with them. In another video, I did mention that WWE 2K22 gameplay seems to be fantastic according to a report. But then again, it might be possible that that report is coming from the own people of 2K, which means people who are working in 2K might be seeing that, oh my god, that gameplay is amazing. But they are not the gamers, they're developers, I get it, but they're not the one who will be playing the game. So there's a slight difference to be seen that, well, AEW game, there is someone that they can give feedback from. But with WWE 2K22 game, I don't know where they're getting that feedback from. Well, that was my opinion about AEW video game and WWE 2K22 video game. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. And did you know that WWE 2K22 might add some brand new features in that game? Check the link in the screen right now.